Good morning, everyone. I can't hear you. Good morning. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I'm doing good. How you doing? How you doing? My name is Jimmy Gisi, and I'm your Cobb County Parks Director. On behalf of the Cobb County Board of Commissioners, Cobb County Recreation Board, and County Manager Rob Hosack, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here today to this momentous occasion. We're here today to cut the ribbon on the newest addition to Jim R. Miller Park, the Miller Event Center, and to welcome her to our family. And this is a 2016 Parks Splosh program. It's truly been a Herculean task for us to even be here today. How many of you attended the North Georgia State Fair last year? Okay. If you did, you remember buildings A and building B sitting right here behind us in this spot. Most of you ate your funnel cake and you rode your ride, but you had no idea that already hundreds of hours had been invested into the design of this facility. Immediately following the fair, the site was turned over to the contractor, and then that's when the magic began. Over the next 10 months, thousands of hours were invested into this project by the contractor to get us here today. During those 10 months, they battled over 46 inches of rain, over 12 inches of snow during 2 winter events that some of you may remember, and they lost 10 days to either ice or frozen conditions. Many of the people that are responsible for this great feat will be recognized here in just a moment, but let's get the rest of the program started. The recognition of this great country that we're blessed to live in is a privilege and one that we should all enjoy. Here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance is retired Marine Colonel and Commission Chair Mike Boyce, to be followed by Miss Cobb County Alexa Gilliman with the National Anthem.
Please address the flag of this great country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, this time we'll be addressed by Mr. Rob Hosack, the County Manager, to give a little history on the park, and then Public Services Agency Director, Mr. Bill Tanks, with the recognitions.
Thank you, Jimmy, and welcome everybody. As far as history goes, I think I would be remiss if I did not recognize a special guest today that has a lot of history with not only this park, but with Cobb County. David Hankerson, would you stand up and wave? Mr. Hankerson, thank you for coming. Was the county manager for 20 plus years and raised most of us here that are department heads today. Welcome to the Miller Event Center. I've been asked just to provide a little bit of history to everybody. It's 116 acres and Cobb County purchased it from the Cobb County Fair Association in 1982. At that time, in 1982, the purchase price was $403,725. After we purchased the park, the Recreation Board and the Board of Commissioners approved a master plan, and there was an emphasis at that time, and that was largely due to Mr. Miller's leadership, that we create a regional event space that could in turn generate revenue. Some of the largest generating revenue users here are, of course, the North Georgia State Fair, as well as the Shrine Circus, rodeos, and concerts, various events that we've had over the last 36 years. A little bit of historical information as well. The first revenue that the park ever generated or received was roughly $1,700, and that was for a National Campers and National Hikers spring campout. Right down on the campground that has been improved over time. Parks had a couple of different names. Went originally by the Cobb County Fairgrounds. In 1985, the Board of Commissioners named it Central Park, and then in 1990, it was very appropriately renamed Jim R. Miller Park after Mr. Jim Miller, who served not only as the county's first county manager, but he was also the parks director for 10 years from 1973 to 1983. Mr. Miller definitely had a vision to create a regional center here at the fairground, and I think later today when you are able to take a tour and see some of the things inside that are going to be provided, we certainly have accomplished that mission. Thank you very much to all of the voters who generously approved a partnership with us to do this project. And we look forward to good things coming from the Miller Event Center. Thanks again for coming.
Good afternoon. I have that honor of acknowledging everyone that's contributed to the success of this Miller Park opening and this event. There's no way something this nice happens without the cooperative effort of all involved. So I'm gonna try to, I know I will miss someone that did something, but I'll try to acknowledge all those who made this possible. First I do, as our county manager acknowledged, I do want to acknowledge the citizens first who approved the SPLOS to make this possible. Without that referendum, without your vote, we wouldn't be standing here. After our citizens, of course, our chairman and our board of commissioners, we have Chairman Boyce here behind me, Commissioner Weatherford, who is our liaison commissioner for public services and advocate for parks and all, and of course, my personal commissioner, Commissioner Lisa Cupid is here. Our county manager, our leader out front, Mr. Rob Hosack, who you just heard a minute ago. And then we have members here from our recreation board. And if you are here, if you can wave so we can see who you are. From our recreation board, Mr. Bill Carver. Mr. Bill Carver, you here? All right, thank you, sir. Jill Flam from the recreation board. I don't see her waving, but okay. I see fans moving because people are hot. So thanks, Jill. Elliot Hennington, a very, very active. Elliot, I know you're here. All right, there you go. Very active in our community. Wynn McCurdy from the recreation board. All right, thank you, Ms. McCurdy. And then moving on, do we have from the Sheriff's Department, Chief Deputy Milton Beck. I know he's here somewhere. Maybe he's, okay, there he is. All right, Chief, there you go. Moving on, we have, is Senator Lindsey Tipton's here?
He's right there.
Well, all right. Thank you, Senator. For okay. Alice Summerall from our SPLOS Oversight Committee. Alice, you here?
Yes, she's here.
All right. Okay, I see fans again, but I don't see Alice. So she's here.
She's here.
Oh, okay, she's in the shade. She's smart. All right. Frank Wigington from the SPLOS Oversight Committee. All right, he's here. I know he hears. And then Marlene Elkins.
She's here.
All right, outstanding. We do acknowledge your involvement in what you've done to make this successful. Moving on, Reeves Young, the construction manager. The project executive, Mike Leslie. He's probably working. I know he's here. Marco Don Juan and Jim Peterson. All right. We have from TV Design, our designers, Mr. Robert O'Keefe. Sal, I'm not going to mess your name up, Sal Lalani. All right, there you go, Sal. And then Jennifer Durham. And I've already mentioned, our Park Splosh program managers from Moreland at Tabelli Associates are Russell Small. All right, thank you, Russell. Glad you're here. Barbara Savage. All right, see you, Barbara, out there. All right, and then Howard Bach. All right, and so then, without closing out, I think the county manager's already recognized Mr. David Hankerson's here, and then all of the staff. I definitely want to recognize all the staff who do things every day to make this a success. We appreciate every last one of you. Just come all around the park.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we do have a few remarks from our Board of Commissioners. We'll be led off by the chairman, Mr. Mike Boyce, followed by Commissioner Lisa Cupid. This is actually in District 4. This is in her district, so she may look like a glowing mother when she gets up here. And then Commissioner Bob Weatherford, and as Mr. Tanks mentioned, Commissioner Weatherford is our liaison commissioner. And they'll be followed by Mr. Todd Miller, who will be representing the family of Mr. Jim R. Miller. Chairman?
Thank you, Jimmy. So also want to mention Senator Mike Redd is here. Someone on the side. Hey, Senator, nice, thanks for coming. And then also want to recognize the North Georgia State Fair. I'll make sure I get this term right. State Fair, Miss North Georgia State Fair. This was Annabeth Toole. So please stand up. Please stand up. There you go. As I was telling both her and Alexa, I'm so glad to see these young people. They're the future of my country, so you can pay my taxes so I can retire. So. I have a 95-degree speech. This means it's 95 seconds. I know you're going to be grateful. I want to thank everyone for attending this program today, especially the members of the board, staff, and honored guests, and of course you, the public, which is the power that drives America into this county. Today is another great day for Cobb County as we continue to repair, renovate, and replace legacy buildings in Cobb County. From our renovations at the Mableton Performing Arts Center to new parks and green space and cultural gems like the Sewell Mill Library and Culture Center, we now add this, our newest attraction, this inspiring architectural achievement in honor of Jim Miller. This conference center is a testimony to the partnership between Cobb County government and the people of Cobb County. Another shining example of how SPLOST, the Special Local Option Sales Tax, was intended to be used. I want to thank the contractors and the county staff who brought this project in on time and on budget, although we might have gone over budget today with the fans. Our motto in Cobb County is expect the best, and what you see before you is an illustration that all involved with this magnificent building also delivered their best. I'm informed there's a solid commitment already of people wanting to use this place, so I want to get out of the way so that people of all of Cobb can begin to enjoy this building, their building. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I want to continue the excitement that all of us have here for this building. I'm certainly grateful that this day has come right before this year's fair. A great job to all those who've worked diligently to make this day happen. For those of you who've been here in years past, you know that what we have before us is a far cry from buildings A and B. And while we have one space where we can come together that is a large space and a unified space, one thing that I'm very proud about is that this is an accessible space financially for all who are here in Cobb. And our staff did a great job of ensuring that those who want to come in and enjoy this building, whether in whole or in part, can have the means to be able to do so. For those of you who have participated in our SPLOST program, supported our SPLOST program, I want to say thank you again. This would not have happened without that program that leverages all of our resources to bring significant and transformational assets to Cobb County, and this asset certainly is one of them. Now I'm going to share with you a few words that one of my driving instructors told me when I was preparing to get my license, that if you think long, you think wrong. It is my understanding that this building has already been booked for a significant part of next year already. So as you're looking and wondering of amen, you clap, but if you actually tried to have an event here, you're crying like me because my date was actually taken. But yes, it's okay. Okay. But I understand that we have booked 4 weddings already and a conference for next year, and this building just holds many possibilities for corporate events, graduations, and other large-scale events that we can have here in Cobb County. So I just thank everyone for their efforts. Know that we've had a great asset here before, but certainly today we have a great asset for many years to come. Thank you.
Well, it's kind of hard to say much more than it's already been said, but it is a beautiful facility. If you add this facility along with some of the other projects that we've done here recently in Cobb that the chairman mentioned, such as Sewell Mill Library, the Mabel House, the new North Cobb Regional Library, there's a new community center going up in Ackworth. It just goes on that we are trying and continue to be the best place to live, work, and play. You know, a lot of times things move at the speed of government, which we all know what that is. And I was amazed that we were able to do this in less than a year. I thought it'd take that long just to get the grease out of here from the corn boil that Senator Tippins and the sheriff do, because I've helped him, and the grease is abundant on the floors and stuff. But the fact that this was done in a year doesn't diminish the fact that there was years of planning that went before that to decide how to do it and when to do it and all that. But it just shows you when we put our minds, our hearts, and our tax dollars through SPLOST together, we can come up with a facility like this so that we can be the best place to live, work, and play. If you haven't seen this facility, you're going to be amazed. If you take a look at this one and the Civic Center, and again, some of the other projects we mentioned, when we do it, we may do it every 30 years, but we do it right. So this will be here for years and generations to come. It's going to be a jewel in our portfolio, and our children and our grandchildren will enjoy this. You know, 30 years from now, they're going to be talking about what we did today and how we impacted the lives of the future and generations to come. I'm honored to have been a small part of this, and I'm honored to be on such an esteemed board of commissioners that have the vision, and previous county staff that came up with these ideas and have continued to work toward a common goal for all the citizens of Cobb County. So I appreciate you being here. Make sure you check out the place, and you should be very proud of Cobb County and Cobb County government today. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of my mother, my sister, myself, and our family, we wanted to say thank you to Cobb County for letting us be a part of this day. My father was a visionary in Cobb County for a long time. I don't know if he saw this 40,000 square feet when you get inside to see. It takes a lot, it's a team effort, and I want to say one of the things that my father was involved with was the county and the Fair Association in 1982 getting together, and the relationship. At that time it was a 6-day fair, 50 to 60,000. Now the fair is the largest event in Cobb County, draws 300,000 people plus, and one of the largest events in Metro Atlanta. But what the memories, I've been here since my father was 75, took over as volunteer manager. I was in 2nd grade, so I've basically been raised in this park, and to see what's happened here today is amazing. But what the memories that I have the most is community, friendship, is that one time a year. It's Whit Carson that was here for 70 plus years, showed cattle in the 30s and 40s until he passed away, and then ran our petting zoo. It's Jay Horton, who was with the Marietta Paper, then a fair board member. At 84 years old, rode the roller coaster with me. It's our fair board that puts in countless hours to do. It's our relationship with the county staff. It's our volunteers. We got volunteers in our non-commercial exhibits, our flower shows, the petting zoo that come and put their time and energies in here. It's the one time of the year that the fair comes together, and that's where the community comes together, and I think that's where my father would be the proudest. As you get in here, this is going to blow your mind to see what it's going to do. The amount of business that's going to come to this facility This is not a county facility. This is on top notch. It's unbelievable. It's to the next level. But thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And come see us September 20th through the 30th at this year's fair. Thank you very much.